I wanted to share with you a story about my own life and one of my own kids, because I think it may help you during the time when you're so wrapped up in your own problems and you're so tempted to sometimes let your kids become invisible. When I was a young attorney competing to hopefully someday make partnership in one of the biggest law firms in the country, and going for the big bucks and the big legal career, I was working hours, such long hours, day and night and weekends. My kids began to forget who I was, to tell you the truth, and my wife also. And during this time, one of my children, one of my sons, I have 4 children, one of them had a slight reading disability that we didn't detect until late. And he was having trouble in school, and he was having self-esteem problems, and he was pulling away from us. And I remember actually sitting in my law office one day thinking, you know, I may lose one of my children. I may lose my son. And I actually was so young and so career-oriented and money-oriented and so stupid at the time that I remember thinking, well, I will be very, very sad if I lose my son, but there doesn't appear to be anything that I can do about it if I want to succeed in my career as a lawyer. So I guess the possible loss of my son is just one of the prices that you have to pay for success in the big law firms. I actually thought that, and it was actually okay with me for a while. Fortunately, a friend of mine, another lawyer, said, hey, I'm reading Jerry Spence's book about how to become a famous trial lawyer, and we need to go down to San Francisco and do a sensitivity training so that we can relate better to jurors and win more trials. So I said, okay, I'll go with you. So we went away to this weekend sensitivity training, and it was one of the most wonderful things that ever happened to me. One of the things I got out of it was, you must get in touch with those things in your life that are truly the most important to you. And what are those things? And during that weekend, one of the things that became crystal clear for me was my son was one of the most important things in my life. And whatever it cost me, whatever it took in terms of time, money, or energy, I was not going to lose my son. Shortly after that, I left the big law firms, opened my own small-town law practice. Have never made as much money, I'm sure, as I could have made in the big law firms. But I went to every single one of my kids' ball games, or almost every single one of them. And I was there. I spent extra time with my son. We did sporting activities together. We camped together. We learned how to scuba dive together, and we went scuba diving together. And I've done some amazing things in my life. Graduate of West Point, second in my class in law school. Got a lot of things to look back on. I've been very blessed. A lot of things to look back on, to be proud of. But I want to tell you something. When I come to the end of my life and I look back, one of the single most important accomplishments of my entire life, the one thing that I'm going to look back on and be the most proud of, probably one of the most proud things I'm most proud of, is the fact that I put in the necessary time, energy, money, and attention and effort that it took, and I did not lose my son. My son and I are still the best of friends. He's grown now, married, got beautiful children of his own. When I look back on my life, the fact that I did not lose my son is one of my greatest accomplishments. And I want to tell you something. When you finish your life, whether you've been a total financial failure or a financial success, if you can look back on your life and you can say the same thing about your children, you will be a very blessed, lucky, and rich man or woman. So take some time while you're worrying about all your financial affairs. Go out in the yard, play with your kids. It'll be great for them, and it'll also be good medicine for your soul. God bless you. Bye.